Hello there. Excuse the winter clothing. It's actually winter now and I have not got the heating on in the house. So I'm nice and warm in my winter gear. This is a DeckShell thermal waterproof beanie. This is the UF Pro Delta OL 3.0 thermal jacket. In my house I actually installed D-Link wired and wireless CCTV surveillance cameras. I had Qantas frequent flyer points to use up, so I thought I would buy this ring stick up camera with battery and use it. I also bought a Ring doorbell phone. So join me in this video as I unbox this and talk you through the features, configure the camera on the mobile phone application, as well as install the camera. Let's unbox this and see what's inside. The contents of what's inside is on this label on the side. There's a stick up cam battery. It actually means it's the stick up camera that uses a battery. There's one quick release battery pack. There's a micro USB charging cable, and there's some installation tools, and what it means is actually screws and wall plugs. It is compatible with 802.11b, G and N Wi-Fi at 2.4 GHz. With what's provided, it can be installed to the wall or to a tabletop. If you want to install it on a ceiling overhead, you need to buy an additional stick-up cam mount sold separately. The dimensions are 2.36 inch by 2.36 inch by 3.82 inch or 60mm by 60mm by 97mm. The camera is 1080p full high definition with 130-degree field of view. Has audio two-way talk with noise cancellation and infrared LED for color night vision. Guess what it's trying to say is that use this and it's as if you're always home, because you can watch your home through the Ring camera. One user manual. And the manual really is about installation. One sheet for you to scan the QR code in order to set up the application on your phone. One sheet that recommends to sign up to Ring Protect, which requires subscription fee. This is the warranty sheet. This is a technical compliance sheet, a Ring warning sticker, and in the box you have the Ring stick up camera. That's the camera. This rubber plug covers the input if you have a DC power source. This rubber plug covers a screw hole that allows you to remove the mounting plate from a vertical position and screw that into a side position. This allows you to twist the base left or right to either lock or unlock the base from the camera body. There's a protective film on the camera lens itself, and there's a protective film over the wider area. Unfortunately, I cannot find any documentation that describes where the microphone is, where the light sensor is, where the passive infrared sensor is. We'll put this down for the moment. See what's in the box. It says power supply and mounting hardware. This must be a generic box. There's no power supply with this. So let's see what's inside. What's inside is the quick release battery, a micro USB cable, and some mounting screws. It says security screws for securing the base cover and battery cover, mounting screws to mount the stick up camera on the wall, and some plastic wall anchors, or I would call them plastic wall plugs. Before you use the camera, you're supposed to charge up this battery. The way you charge it is stick the micro USB end into that and plug this into a USB-A power supply. When you connect this battery up to a power supply, you'll see that there are two LED lights, one's a green and one's a red. When it is in charging mode, you'll find that the green and red lights up to show that it's charging. When it's fully charged, there's just the green. Now I have pre-charged this so we can install this into the camera. Before I install the battery, let me just add that the field of view for the camera is 130 degrees diagonally, 110 degrees horizontally, and 57 degrees vertically. To install the battery, use a Phillips head screwdriver number 2 to remove the bottom plate. Easy. That's what it looks like. Now, holding the base of the camera, this notch is aligned to the lock symbol. I turn it left to the unlock symbol, and then I can just very gently pull it outwards, and you see that it disassembles the base cover from the body of the camera. Now there's a QR code to scan to set up the application on your mobile phone, and take note that inside there's a barcode and there's also the network MAC address. If you use MAC addressing to allocate IP addresses for devices on your router, then take note of that MAC address in there. It is unique to every device. Inside the camera, you see electrical pin contacts. Those contacts inside will make up the contacts in this battery. So line that up, put that in. You'll hear a click when it's locked in. You can put the base back in with the notch matching unlock position. Push it in until it is nice and meshed. Turn it to lock position, and you see that the camera has turned on and the blue light is blinking. I'll put that the mounting feet, screw it with the Phillips head screwdriver, and that's done. Scan the QR code. Click on the URL link. It says let's set up your first location, so I'll click on create location. Continue. It asks what type of location is it. I'll say it's a home. Continue. It asks you for your address, so put in the address. It'll bring up a map of the location, and I'll say use this address. Call the location name home. I'll save the location. Next, it asks me where I am installing the stick-up cam. I'll say outdoors. I will say ring stick-up cam on my backyard deck. Press continue. It asks me how I will power up the stick-up cam, and I'll say battery. Then it tells me to fully charge the included battery now, which I have done. It tells me to insert the battery, wait 30 seconds for stick-up camera to turn on. I've already got the battery in there. It says stick-up camera is on. Next, to set up the Wi-Fi, wait for stick-up camera to enter setup mode. When the light on the front begins flashing blue, continue to the next step. So you can see that the stick-up camera has a blue light flashing. So I'll click on yes, the light is flashing blue. To continue setup, turn off the VPN on your phone. I've turned the VPN off, so I'll click on VPN off is confirmed. When prompted, connect to the Ring Wi-Fi network. I'll say OK. The blue LED is still flashing on the camera. It says Ring will use a temporary Wi-Fi network to connect to the device, and it calls it Ring Setup C1. I'll say connect.
Now connected to the Ring app.
There you go, it says connected to the Ring app. It says select the Wi-Fi network your stick-up cam should use. My Wi-Fi network is this one, so I'll click on that. I'll enter the Wi-Fi password, press continue.
Connecting to Wi-Fi. Just a moment.
It says it's connecting to the Wi-Fi, and wait just a moment.
Setup successful.
Setup successful, you heard that. And press OK to continue. Success, congratulations, stick-up camera is now set up, ready to protect you. Continue. Just a few steps left to get the best from your Ring device. Continue. I'll skip the tutorial and say that I've already installed it. It says to share the device. I'll skip that for now. I'll skip that for now. I'll skip that for now, and then it says that I'm done. It's installing an update. That's the Ring stick-up camera. I've mounted onto the top rail of the beams on my decking. So the first thing I did was remove the base of this camera from the gray mounting plate. I screwed in the gray mounting plate, and then I used the security screw to secure this base onto the gray mounting plate. Now, even though Ring calls this a security screw, there is nothing special about this screw. It's not even a security torque screw, it's just a Phillips head screw. So actually there's nothing secure about it. I've tilted the camera downwards so that I can look at the back of my house. This is an actual full high definition video recording I downloaded from my user account in ring.com website. You can see the birds walking on my decking and hear them chirping. I hope you found this video interesting and informative to help you understand how you set it up on your mobile phone application, how I installed it. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more and to help the channel grow. Thank you so much.